So we're in week 6 of the project, which is supposed to go 9 or 10 weeks, depending on how long students need those last few weeks to finish things up. Students have started to hand in more of their work. There are still quite a few students in this honors class who are failing because they're missing some of the assessments. But I think that most students have settled into their topic and have started to understand where they need to be and what they need to do. My student number 2, in a few of the entries, the blog entries that I've posted, she hadn't yet turned in some of her assignments, but she's turned them all in now, and they're great. So for some kids, she's a perfect example of that. They just needed a little bit more time to get everything sorted out and figured out and put together. So kids are starting to get more and more excited about their topics. And the more I read about what they're finding, the more excited I am about the project. So students, one of the things that I've been hearing this week that is really cool is that students they're learning things that they hadn't considered before, which is then taking them further into their research, which is then making them more interested in their topic, which was one of my hopes from the beginning. So I think that is super exciting as a teacher for me this week. This week has been kind of a crazy week. Monday, we did not have school. We're coming off of a 4-day weekend, much needed for everybody. Tuesday, we did have school, and then we were supposed to have some incredibly severe weather yesterday and today. Today's Thursday. We did get a bunch of snow, but we had been assigned e-learning days. So no school Monday. Tuesday, we were in school. Yesterday and today have been e-learning days, so students are still expected to do certain things outside of the building, but they don't physically have to go to school. So tomorrow will be the second time this week that I have seen students. This week, their assignment was to interview an expert on their topic. And if that didn't work, then to do man on the street interviews of multiple people, shorter number of questions. This one, I think, is one of the harder ones for kids of this generation, because talking to people seems to be kind of scary to them. But I'm encouraged, because the more interviews that I see get turned in, and the more I talk to students about their interviews, the more they're learning about how to be brave and communicate with people, but also how to get the information that they want and not be scared to ask questions. So, that part's been really exciting to me too. The interviews are due this Friday. I don't have an example made yet. I did not get an example made of the podcast review, unfortunately. I am finding that I'm a little overwhelmed with the grading that goes on with this, and I'm very grateful for the last couple of days, because it's given me a chance to grade the project proposals and the podcast reviews. So I'm finally all caught up on grading, which as an English teacher is something that almost never happens. And it's all thanks to the e-learning days. It seems like some of the students have used their time wisely, because they've gotten emails from kids that have been turning things in, etc. So I think I'm going to push the due date back for the interview until the end of next week. The end of next week, their book reviews are also due. I might also just push the due date for that back an extra week as well. Give everybody a little bit of breathing room, myself included, and we'll still have plenty of time for them to finish their projects. So it's a learning experience. There are certain things that I now know going back. I'm going to switch the order of certain assessments. I am going to make sure that I have examples created beforehand. For the first 2 assessments, I did have examples. I plan to get an example for the interview this weekend. But doing this along with the students has also helped me empathize with them and help me realize, just how long it does take to come up with what you want to do and to find time to make all the pieces fit together. So I call this musings because it's it's me rambling for a little bit, but those are my thoughts for the week.